Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of The Aftermath. My name is Ian, and as always, I'm joined by Dylan.
Yeah.
And we have Ethan on the show as
Yo.
well.
I hope you know it's been a while since I've interrupted you while you're trying to start the podcast.
I appreciate
and
it.
you're gonna have to. You're gonna be ready for the next one.
Oh, I'm just
Because the
saying.
next one, I'm just gonna come out of left field and be like,
Yeah.
in the mic as soon as you're like, hello, yeah, hello.
And I will promptly restart the intro. There's one thing I want to be consistent is the intro of the show, and then we can get into shenanigans.
Against all odds.
Please.
Shenanigans
Try it.
persist.
I try as hard as possible. I was watching the Critical Role, and
Yeah.
whenever Matt Mercer, like an old episode, I never
Right,
finished the
right.
Critical. So I'm watching like an old episode of it because I never finished it. And whenever Matt Mercer's doing an intro, it was who was it? Still, one of the guys was like, yeah. And while he's trying to do the intro, we try and interrupt him by swearing in his ear to make him mess it up. And I was like, that's literally what I do to Ian.
Love it.
Oh man!
If only you had like a little secret bypass.
Yeah.
Just a little microphone, just go like, just mess it up. Just mess it up.
Yeah, if I just go
We
over,
call it the silly mic.
I just start poking you in the face while you're doing the intro.
Multiple loop-de-loops to reach your ear.
You'd be surprised. I can remain stoic in even the face of adversity.
Damn, I was just talking about poking you in the face, not like killing your dog.
Skewering you with a spear.
So this movie I have seen
This
probably
is like my fourth time watching this
I
movie.
have watched this Studio Ghibli movie I think the most out of all of them
Mm-hmm.
so far. I think
That's
this is
fair.
my third
It's
or
one of the
fourth time.
greats.
It's great. We watched Porco Rosso.
I was looking around at stuff. It's like, let me hit him up with the complete antithesis of what the show's about.
Right.
And I was like, hey, you
know
guys
that-
have seen this like 50,000 times.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
We never did an episode on it, though. I really
Yeah.
thought that you were going to
Mhm.
keep not saying the movie and be like, this Studio Ghibli film is the one I've seen the most times. It's my favorite. You were going to keep doing like this AI videos.
Because it was
Yeah.
initially like I was wanting to put on the Castle of Cagliostro.
Yeah.
Because Ethan has never seen anything of Lupin the Third.
What a great character.
Mm-hmm.
What a great series.
Dude, it's so good.
I don't even know what that is. So, yeah.
Right, you'll get there eventually. But we couldn't find it anywhere.
Superhero.
A romantic modern
of
hero.
today. Yeah.
They need someone at least as cool as me.
Exactly. If you haven't heard that song, you definitely should.
Right. But yeah, we just couldn't find it anywhere, so we settled on another.
Then how have you seen it? Do you not have it on DVD?
Well, I pull a yo ho ho and just
Oh, yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
I just
I sail the
He
high
shivered
seas.
some timbers.
Right. They
I'll
blew
shiver
me
your-
down. So
I don't know
Oh,
why.
yeah.
I just said that, and I was like, that sounds really wrong.
she be shiver on my timbers till I
yeah.
pirate.
blow me down.
Yeah, no, that one that's obvious.
That was one of
No.
my favorites for obvious reasons. Anyway, so yeah, I've seen it before. It was on Netflix for a while as well, if I remember correctly. But
Oh.
it's a good one.
So,
One of
okay.
the best.
We were just talking about how Ian's only seen this movie subbed, not dubbed.
Correct.
Yeah, I was asking the voice acting. He said the voice acting cast for this in English apparently was really good.
That's
Well,
the
it's just-
thing with a lot of Ghibli films is that
Yeah.
they just hit you out of nowhere with these star-studded
Well, I
voice
mean,
acting
it's
casts.
yeah, it's Ghibli. Like they
Mhm.
have it has to
Nothing
be
but the
another
best.
languages. Yeah.
Right.
Like these guys are A1.
We watched one called was it Castle in the Sky, or
Tales from Earthsea.
Tales from Earthsea.
Mhm.
We watched one from Tales from Earthsea, and
Yeah.
the main antagonist is Willem Dafoe,
Yeah.
and he plays that character so well.
It's perfect.
I need
He's
to
like
hear
he's like a little creepy and a little slimy, and he's like,
Right.
"Ooh, I'm just a bad guy." And you're like,
Mm.
"Oh
I'm
my
just a
God,
silly
dude,
little
I'm
guy."
just a silly little
And he
bad guy."
sells it.
Oh, and it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Because of obviously, anyways, it doesn't matter. But that's the same kind of point. It's like there's these moments like this where apparently Porco Rosso in the English version is Christian Bale, and I was like, bruh, like that's just like again big name. Or we also
Wait, was he Christian Bale, or are you thinking of Howl?
I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah. You mentioned that Porco
Yeah,
Rosso
yeah.
was someone else.
I thought it was,
a different big
Michael,
name.
Michael Keaton.
You're right, Michael Keaton. Sorry,
Yeah, dude,
my
Michael
bad.
Keaton.
All good.
A different Batman, I think.
Yeah, right.
So I was saying that though to say I was gonna, even though this isn't necessarily about Porco Rosso, we'll get back to that. Again, we've seen it like 4 times at this point. There's a lot to say. It's a very good movie, and you
Yes.
should watch it.
But I've got some fun facts because I figured we probably going to have either some
Yeah.
or not a lot to say
So
about this.
I want to segue straight into this. We've watched this movie mostly subbed, not dubbed, and I recently last
And I mean,
episode.
the dub isn't bad. It's a good dub.
Yeah,
It just
but-
never occurred to me.
yeah. Last episode I talked about. We even censored the name of the anime.
Oh, shit, we're about to do it again.
I'm actually happy.
Don't forget, this is Aftermath. So we talked about that on the About Nothing podcast.
Right.
Oh, we did.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's the wrong one. In
They
that
may
case,
not
last
know.
time I recorded something, for some reason it was the three of us again, so I get it
Yeah.
mixed up. Usually About Nothing to me and one other person, so I kind of forgot.
Threw you for a loop.
But we are gonna do another About Nothing soon. So if you guys are interested, just get About Nothing podcast.
You know where to find us.
Yeah.
Plug.
Yeah, same place you find this shit. So I mentioned though that there was I didn't name drop. Also, I wasn't sitting in that chair. That's also why I was sitting in the wrong chair.
Yeah.
I wasn't in the captain's chair.
Right.
But yeah, I mentioned I even censored the name because I was like, I'm only an episode and a half deep, and so
Right.
far I don't like it. That's because I was watching it subbed,
Yes.
not dubbed. Or sorry, I was watching it dubbed, not subbed. So I straight up gave up on watching that show. It was that bad.
Damn.
And then I was
Holy
like,
shit.
I'm just gonna see if it's, and I'm gonna tell you the scene that I gave up watching it on. Everyone's gonna know what the show is now. I put it in subbed instead to listen to the original translation of Japanese,
Yeah.
and I finished the 13 episodes in the first season and loved it.
Mm-hmm.
The scene that made me quit watching it in English was whenever one character is now really muscular and the main character asks in Japanese, translated into English, when did you get so muscular? A question that has an answer.
Right.
Seems
In
normal.
the English version, she just says, look at all that beef. And I stopped watching it. I was like, are you joking? And she said it in the worst, weirdest, cringest way.
at all that
No,
beef.
not like that.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it was more like, look at all that beef.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no, she said
Right.
it like a man. And I was like, the voice acting quality is good, but this is the dumbest, most unhinged shit I've ever heard.
Right.
Watched it in Japanese. All the translations make sense.
See, that's
It's like they tried to translate it in, like, get a little bit of like American like joke culture in there
yeah,
too.
Exactly.
The direct
That's-
translation's better.
That's
like,
been a lot of people's issues with
Yeah.
modern localizations with different shows.
it was terrible.
Because I can understand like taking some liberties for the sake of translation.
Yeah.
Like, because some shit just doesn't carry over.
Doesn't not well.
from
Yeah, you
language
have to
to
figure
language.
out a different
Like,
line.
you gotta embellish it a bit. But what
Especially
the-
if the direct translation maybe doesn't make sense, or there's probably a funnier way you could say it. in
Yeah,
English.
exactly.
Yeah,
or like
right.
in Freerin, like whenever someone says like Freerin Sama, right, which is like that's like
an honorific.
Yeah, it's an
Right.
honorific. It's like a what's the
Master,
word?
yeah.
It's very specific. Like if you respect someone, it's respectful. That translates down at the bottom of the screen to Miss. That's Miss Freerin. That's what
Right,
they're saying. They're
Miss
saying like
Freerin.
this is Miss Freerin, but they translate that in English in the dub to mistress, and it sounds weird.
It just
It-
does.
yeah.
It goes from like thank you Miss Freerin to thank you Mistress creepy. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
weird.
Sorry, bro. You gotta stop
It's
that right
such
now.
such a simple change, and I know that that's like the sort of direct translation, but what they mean clearly is like
It
Miss
goes
or
from
Madam.
from yes ma'am to step on me mama.
Exactly.
Yeah, quickly, just
very
drops
quickly.
off.
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
the
The
sharpest.
word mistress has been ruined
Yeah.
by
So has the word
dominatrixes.
goon.
Right. Oh, God.
Yeah, I miss whenever goons used to just be like,
Yeah,
dumb,
random henchmen.
henchmen. Now,
Right.
now apparently it's got to do with whacking it, and I can't handle this, man.
Nah, man.
That said, for the next episode About Nothing, here's a little teaser. The word goonette was used.
Get out.
Oh, God.
We
I forgot.
we decided to take up the offer to watch Golden Boy, which is what was recommended to us. Thanks for the recommendation.
Yeah, toasty night.
We decided to pick that one. And episode 2, I said I used the word unironically. This is just no, it was episode like 5, I think. It was like the last.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
yeah. I called her a goonette, and we actually had to pause that one for a second to laugh that off. But still, like,
Oh man.
keep an eye out for the next episode.
Dude,
But
I
still-
can't wait for you to watch that show. It's so
We
fucking
can we
funny.
legit, it's only 6 episodes. We can
Right.
before the next episode
Yeah.
About Nothing's filmed, we can have him watch it.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, I was saying
That's
the
so good.
translations they don't work.
Right.
When you have the sub, even though again I don't like, because I like to like eat snacks or eat a food and watch an episode or 2 of anime.
Mhm.
I don't like whenever I can't really eat when I'm doing it because I'm like reading and trying to watch it.
Yeah.
So I can't really do that. I feel like I have to pay a lot more attention than just chilling and watching it. So I usually would try and watch things dubbed. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna watch anything, I straight up don't even try.
Damn, bro.
So
There's a few a few English voice actors that I think once I see them on the roster, I'm like, I feel pretty good.
Mhm.
yeah,
That's a good sign.
That's
We're
a
in.
good sign.
Yeah, but even for that, like a couple of voice actors in some of these shows were like people that I knew. But
Right,
again,
right.
it's like the problem is it's nothing against the voice actors because their acting is fantastic.
Yeah.
The lines they have to read are dog. Like
Yeah.
that's
right.
the issue, and it's like
Right.
it's just like like Kingdom Hearts 3. Like some of the voice actors I think are probably trying their best, but they're
Right.
given.
Dude,
And
Richard
even then,
Epcar. Richard fucking Epcar.
yeah. And but also there is a few voice actors that their execution's bad too. So there is that. It's a
Yeah.
mix of both. But
All
it's
right.
just so I enjoyed this one. I need to watch it watch it dubbed again though.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it for the
Yeah.
first time dubbed because I'm interested.
But yeah,
a good
I think
dub.
this might have been the first Ghibli movie that I watched.
Really?
It might
No,
have been.
It was Mononoke.
It was.
Yeah.
It was Princess Mononoke. Yeah.
Mine was Princess
This was-
Mononoke as well.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
This was an early one though
Mhm.
for me. I think it was because you said this was one of your favorites.
Yes.
And so-
one of my absolutes.
I think it was this one, Princess Mononoke, and then what's the Kiki's Delivery Service. I think those were like
Yeah.
3 that I watched very early. But Princess Mononoke was my first.
Oh yeah. Dude.
we got to get you on Howl's Moving Castle. That's a
Already seen
really good. You have?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've seen it.
That's a great one. It's a great one.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but we've seen it. I'm gonna look up
Again,
pictures.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
another one that has a great dub.
Mhm.
If you haven't watched it dubbed, it's again
Oh yeah. Dude,
really
I
good
can
one.
only watch it. In
It's
a dub.
so good.
Mm-hmm. And
There are sorry. Well,
the main thing about Porco's dub is that it is good and I like it. But the voice actor for Porco in Japanese is
oh yeah, he's really good.
indispensable.
I
to me.
will say that
like
he has that specific.
the graveliness
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it. It's my favorite.
This just in, Howl's Moving Castle. I just looked it up to
Yeah.
see if I've seen it before. It is number 2 most searched for anime movie on streaming today.
I believe
Apparently,
it.
yeah.
I believe it.
So-
Hands down.
That's awesome.
Whimsical type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I've
On
seen
that
this with
magic
you.
type
It just
shit,
might have been
so full
forever.
of mirth.
Yeah.
I love mirth. That's one of my
Mirth.
favorite words.
We're over here.
Chicks dig my mirth.
We're over here drinking and being merry and shit.
Right. A grand guffaw was
yeah,
had by
yeah.
all.
She's rhyming over here now.
Um,
He's turning into a Ghibli character.
I'm
Stop.
turning into a Tolkien dragon
yes.
speaking in rhyme.
There are
Maybe I haven't. I don't know. I'll probably watch it.
there's a couple of movies that have really ignited this fire inside of me.
Yeah.
Like I have said on the podcast, probably numerous times for any of those of you who have listened for an extended period of time, there is probably an alternate reality where I, Ian, have dumped all my chips into being a pilot.
Yeah.
And like either going into the Navy or like doing something with planes.
Mhm.
I even still feel like at some point in time I'm going to retire and just,
Right, just
be able to
fly.
just fly, dude.
Mhm.
I still have that in me. I just don't. I haven't actually
It's
traveled in
just
that
fucking
path.
magical, man.
I haven't gone down that path at all. So I don't know. I haven't gone to school for it, but I so badly want to get my pilot's license.
like there's
and start the
flying
process.
as a passenger on a plane, and then there's
Yes.
piloting
oh yeah,
an actual plane.
there are a couple of movies, now probably 3 technically that I know of that really ignite that fire again.
I'm gonna say one of them's Top Gun.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Both of the Top Guns. Because, I mean, great sequel as
Oh,
well. But this movie has that whimsical nature of it.
Ooh, what about The Wind Rises?
The Wind Rises as well,
another
but
one.
but this one more so. There's a specific quality to this that brings it out for me, and there are people that live like kind of out in the Pacific Northwest,
Yeah.
in like the Montana area, the Colorado, all that kind of stuff, whatever, that have bush planes.
Oh yeah.
They can just like have those big tires. They can just like land anywhere.
Yeah.
There is this specific dream deep down somewhere that like I may not really want to go follow through with it, but watching this movie, it ignites that fire of I just want to go run away to Montana and buy a bush plane
Yeah.
and just like land on the side of a
Retire to
mountain
the countryside.
and just like land on a mountain and then just drive off, fly away, and then just go land in a field somewhere and just experience the life next to mountains. And
yeah, man.
that like there's just a little bit inside of me that's just like, ooh, I just want to go run away and do that.
Honestly, watching Golden Boy made me want to run away as well. Just do part-time jobs,
Right,
and
just
do whatever.
travel.
Yeah.
As shitty as that anime is for so many reasons.
Hold more because I want to talk about it on
I
its
know.
own
I'm just
episode.
saying. As it was, it made me want to
Yeah,
just run
yeah.
away and just do part-time jobs and just
Yeah.
do whatever. Like as
Yeah.
terrible as
But-
it was, like
Okay,
that's,
now I hate that. I'm sorry to interrupt, but when you say shitty,
you
what do
know
you
the
mean?
reason that I mean.
No, I know exactly
yeah.
what you mean, but like You still enjoy it, right?
I physically cannot recommend it to anyone.
Of
to
course
watch.
not.
Yeah.
No. Of course.
We'll talk about it maybe a little bit later. But what I mean is that I
just wanted
can't
to clarify.
recommend. I
Just
enjoyed
wanna
it,
make
and I
sure.
do like I do like a lot
I
of.
never
things
want you to
about it.
regret watching anything with me.
Yeah. Well, I mean the.
Shut up.
Anyways.
We're looking
What?
for things that I might regret. We're trying to see if you ever miss.
No.
So, anyways, what I'm trying to say is that like there is this the theme and the vibe of this movie gives me that kind of that scratches that itch of like he has like this little secluded island that he always
anytime
lands
he goes
on.
back to his hideout. That shit is
Right,
cozy.
and that's what I'm talking about. He lands back on this little alcove or whatever that he has, and it's his own little personal beach. But he can like hop in his plane and then fly away and go to some bar.
The Porco cave.
Exactly, but like again, but it's just this kind of this whimsical nature of like your main source of transportation is like your kind of pseudo bush plane, or for this it's like a seaplane, where you can land on the ocean and take off. And I love that idea of like, because it feels futuristic in a way, but it also feels old timey because of the type of prop plane that it is.
Right.
Of like we don't have flying cars, but we do have these like Cessna style, or some sort of bush plane where you can like hop in a plane and like figuratively like get off the ground and then land basically wherever you want
The
within
area
reason.
in which you live, that seaplane transportation is one of the most like up there with boats, I would say.
Right. And
like
I love
it's common enough.
And I think it's so cool, and I think it's fun, and I love that it's also like a little bit rooted in reality. The fact that we're talking about Italy,
takes place in the 20s.
Yeah, talk about America and all that kind of stuff, or whatever. So, anyways,
World War II tensions.
Yeah, exactly.
Government changing.
Right. But the kind of the bare bones of this movie, for those of you who have not seen it, we're dealing with a man turned pig man. Through some sort of curse of some kind, and I have some information about that I'll read later. And he is the only one that is like this, and he kind of is a bounty hunter. So he's a hired pilot guy, ex-military, ex-Air Force kind of guy who does some odds and ends jobs. So,
Now it just occurred to me.
What's that?
Did we already record an episode for this?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% certain. You actually you said this earlier whenever you were like...
I could have sworn, because I for some reason I had it in my head, we may have had an episode called When Pigs Fly, because I was thinking, oh man, that'd be a really good name. Wait.
You guys gaslit the hell out of me whenever I was like, I thought we've already recorded an episode on this. Like, because I've seen it like 4 times, and you guys were like, we haven't.
We scrolled through the entire catalog of all the Ghibli movies. We checked, and the only ones that we had were those 2 or whatever at the time.
Yeah. Okay.
What is this, amateur hour?
No. Shut up. It scared the shit out of me for a second. I was like,
log in.
We got a duplicate.
But what I'm saying is that he's ex-military, or he's he's a ex-Air Force, whatever you want to consider him as, and apparently there is some struggles that he went through. I think he lost a friend, and we can learn that as the movie progresses. But he is now kind of a rogue bounty hunter in a way, and he flies in this
Lone Ranger,
this red plane, super beautiful,
gorgeous,
it's so cool,
a veritable red comet.
Exactly. He comes flying in, and I was like, it's Char! But yeah.
Gallant Char kicks in.
Right.
Right.
I love it.
I can only think of that fucking video where it's just a slideshow of him, and then the fucking tears his shirt as soon as the trumpet kicks in. It's fucking beautiful.
It's great. Bum, 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 bum. Anyways, so his name is actually Marco, is like his actual name, but for some reason he goes by the name Porco Rosso, which I'd actually never translated that. Does that mean something?
I think the last I heard it was Crimson Pig.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The Red Pig.
Right. You've heard of the Red Baron. Now get ready for.
Oh, you're not.
Red
Yeah,
bacon.
you're not wrong. It's actually Red Pig.
I mean, Red Bear, Red Pig. It's
Right.
the same thing.
It might as well be. Yeah.
Better a pig than a fascist anyway.
It's like if the
Damn.
Red Baron retired and just became a bounty hunter.
He doesn't look like a police officer, though. Hot topic.
Oh my god. He was in the Air Force though.
Yeah, it's
Right.
different than police officers. People joke about police officers.
Right. There's pigs and then there's swine.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Still better a pig than a
Shit.
fascist.
Right.
But apparently it said, why did Porco become a pig? Although it was never mentioned in the movie, a press release states that he was delusioned with humanity. It cursed him and cursed himself to be a pig. Miyazaki stated that when a man becomes middle-aged, he becomes a pig.
Damn.
It seems that Porco is carrying a lot of baggage, and that has something to do with him quitting being a human. The official story goes as follows: says the captain, Marco Pagote, I guess is how you pronounce that, named after the Italian animator who was friends with Miyazaki,
That's
was
cool.
an ace pilot for the Italian Air Force during World War One. He quit the Italian Air Force since he saw fascism on the rise.
Oh yeah.
And he wanted to fly following his own will and became a bounty hunter, assuming the name Porco Rosso.
That's cool.
He crossed out his own face as a young man in a picture. Oh, and this is actually talking about
Yeah.
The one scene.
I see what you mean.
Has dinner with Gina.
Yeah. And he also kind of alludes to it whenever he meets the girl.
Theo.
Yeah.
Theo, and he's like, "You give me hope that humanity's not all bad." Like it
Yeah.
Dude,
It
that
alludes to-
entire scene, I love it so much.
It alludes to the fact that he was disillusioned with humanity in general. Because he's
Yeah.
like, "You got people suck," and he's like, "Maybe not everybody." Okay.
Right.
And
Right.
so he becomes a little bit less of a pig.
Found a
than
diamond
Yeah.
in the rough.
Miyazaki said that Porco once intended to marry Gina, but then World War I broke out, and Gina was living on an island which was Austrian territory. As a military officer, he could not bring himself to marry an enemy national.
Damn.
Torn between his loyalty to his home country and his love for Gina, he chose his country. But when he witnessed the death of his fellow pilots, including that of his best friend,
Berlini.
Gina's husband,
Mm-hmm.
he started wondering. He started wondering about the meaning of his actions and the meaning of flying and dying for his country. Unable to resolve the conflict in his mind, he became a pig.
Damn, bro.
Like,
Yeah, it's
fucking cool.
it's so That's not really described or
still
explained
better
in the.
a pig than a fascist.
You're
I
right.
still agree with him.
Exactly, 100%. That is a line from the movie, and it definitely is hard as hell.
yeah.
He
I want
said
that on a
shit.
T-shirt,
Yeah.
but just with his face on it, with the little thumbs up from the thing. I just want better a pig than a fascist.
You laugh, but I will make that tomorrow. I'll make a crimson
Just
red shirt.
but I already have a red shirt. I guess it would be red because of the
Right.
Yeah,
It's got to be.
that's got to be. Yeah. Still, this is a callback to the fact that Ian has made me multiple comedic shirts that are one of a kind because he's made them Ian originals. One is my RuneScape known shirt. Peace was never an option.
I have Photoshop.
One was
and
apparently Dylan. You have it too. Would you
Right.
mind elaborating? It's from.
How about you make like a tree and fuck off?
Which apparently is essentially from Boondock Saints, though we
Right.
didn't know when we were making the joke.
Yeah, unbeknownst to me.
Yeah, and now we've also sorry, looked away from the mic. Now we've also got better a pig than a fascist, and I want that shirt.
Oh, I'm just gonna get a little square frame
Right.
of the actual shot.
Yeah,
Can we talk about the fucking limbo contrail for pilots?
Oh yeah,
That is,
oh yeah.
to this day, one of my favorite concepts for the afterlife.
Wait, so it's limbo, not like
I would assume so, considering Porco was doing an in-between motion there.
right. I think
Well,
he was
between life
probably
and
in
death.
limbo. I think that the
he did
rest
say
of
it's
it-
either heaven or hell. He did say, depending on how you
Right,
look
right.
at it.
Dual one.
heaven or hell.
Yeah.
But the other pilots that were going up, they were just straight dead.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's at least that's the reference I got of it.
Mm-hmm.
He had a near death experience and got to see just above the
Honestly,
cloud
same.
level.
Right.
And then
I've
Bro
had 3 or
saying-
4, bro. I've actually seen the
Yeah.
limbo contrails myself.
There
They're
you
pretty
go.
Cool, yeah.
But
But
the
there's
fact
this-
that he describes it as like a sea of white in the sky,
yeah.
and then he looks up and there's just this one giant long contrail
Yeah,
stretching out across the sky. And as everybody's like going up, you see as like a closer look that it's all planes, all
Right.
pilots that have gone.
But also none of their engines are spinning. They're only spinning from like the wind being like,
Right.
it's kind of pushing.
They're
them.
not flying, they're just floating.
Exactly. They're all being floated up. And of course, no matter how many times he reaches out and tries to contact them,
Right.
they just fly up to the big belt in the sky.
Yes, yeah.
the
big-
visuals
big
of that
plane in the
scene
sky.
comboed with the music
Oh yeah.
is unforgettable for me.
Right.
Like that is easily
But
the
it's all
coolest part of the film.
but it also it touches on something that I found beautiful the first time that I went flying.
Mm-hmm.
There was this beautiful moment where the first like flight or two that I went on when I went on my first vacation with my friend, and I was kind of nervous about flying, but I loved the experience of taking off and feeling like I was in the air. I will never forget. I got the chance to see the sunrise as we crossed over that blanket of clouds to where I'm able to see this blanket of white over me or underneath me. And then seeing the sunrise from the background and like lighting all the clouds from the top. And I'm looking down at all that as if I'm like in this new area and we're like not quote unquote far off the ground is what it feels like.
Yeah.
But those are all clouds and I can't see the world beneath me. I was like, I feel like I'm in this like heaven state of like, we've crossed over into this other world almost. And I was like, and getting the chance to see that, I was like, it is.
See, that's another way he described it
otherworldly.
was a world above the clouds.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what it felt like whenever I got to, it's like I said, especially with the fact that like the sun was rising over like, the horizon, quote unquote. I mean, at that point I was, it was probably
the second
30,000.
horizon.
Right. So anyways, it was a cool experience. And I was like, wow, this is beautiful. And and again, no matter how many like pictures I took of it, it couldn't capture the feeling that I had.
There's
of, like, just
something
watching
about nature's beauty that can't be captured unless you have a just wildly expensive camera.
Right, and even
Like,
then,
because that's with my phone, I can get some really good pictures. But even the best pictures I have that I've shown you that I'm really proud of, my like phone background pictures that I've taken,
right.
even
Doesn't
the best
do it
ones I'm
justice.
taking, I'm like, yeah, but you really should have been there to see everything else that I could, because I captured some of these pictures really well. This is what it felt like and looked like when I was there. But there's so many other things that like, man, that looks like big rocks, but like the way it towers over you and mountainous like is so nice. You take a picture and you're like, big rock. Like it just doesn't, it doesn't work. Or like the sea with the sunset, it just looks like a flat blue with like sun. That's it.
Right.
And you're
Yeah,
like, this
you
is
just gotta be
gorgeous.
there.
Yeah, like, and that's like the weirdest thing about traveling is like I've actually kind of conditioned myself for a while to basically not take many pictures on vacation because they don't do it justice. And then everyone got mad at me because I didn't have enough pictures of Ireland and
Right.
stuff like that.
Of course.
So I was like, all right, I'll try and take more of random things, but a lot of my pictures are just like selfies and me holding a beer because like the scenery, you can't do it justice. And I've
So
learned that
good.
pretty quick. Yeah.
you want to know something interesting?
What?
It says that the opening lines are written in Japanese, Italian, Korean, English, Chinese, Spanish, Arabic, Russian, French, and German. Porco Rosso, whatever you pronounce it, was first planned as a 30 to 45 minute in-flight movie on Japan Airlines, a movie which tired businessmen on international flights can enjoy, even with their minds dulled due to lack of oxygen, apparently.
Damn.
As Miyazaki imagined, as Miyazaki's imagination took off, it became a feature-length movie to show in Japanese airline international flights. They had to provide an introduction in many languages, supposedly, for everyone to be able to understand.
That's cool. I'm
Yeah.
glad they kept that.
That is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I love the fact that the big engine, the new engine they put in his plane had Ghibli across it.
Ghibli
I was like,
brand.
yeah.
Trustworthy.
Although there isn't such an engine, the animation studio's name was taken from an Italian airplane.
No, they're just trying to keep that shit under wraps. It's
exactly.
real.
The Caproni CA309 Ghibli, which had double Alfa Romeo engines.
Damn.
Yeah, which is really cool. So yeah, that's a fun fact there.
My car actually has a Ghibli engine in it.
Yeah, it is.
Right. It's red too. Damn.
It is, yeah. I have
You got something you want to tell us?
Ethan Rosso.
Red Ethan.
Yeah.
Man.
It says Miyazaki has stated that he prefers the French language cast, in particular Jean Reno as Porco Rosso, over the Japanese cast.
Wow.
Get wrecked, Japanese.
I wonder.
How fun.
Get told off.
I'll have to
bro.
listen to that later.
Yeah. He also mentioned that the ghost plane scene was inspired by a passage in the Roald Dahl story.
Interesting.
Roald Dahl? I don't know what that means. So yeah, anyways, a little fun.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. So anyways, I found, like I said before, I found this movie to be so inspiring in so many ways and so fun and like I mentioned this to you whenever we were kind of wrapping, like kind of towards the end of the film a little bit. You really get the sense that deep down Porco like is a good guy.
Right. Just got to dig.
He's just a little.
deep.
He's like, you could tell that he. What is it called? Whenever you have a chip on your shoulder, like you have like an edge.
Resting bitch face.
Yeah, well, that too. But like,
resting pig face.
but I'm talking about like is you have like an angle, like you.
I don't even really think it's that. Like, I think that he is not even hidden or anything to me. It seems like he's a really good guy. That's it. There's nothing else to it except for the fact that he has a very military sense of humor and kind of RBF. Yeah, like that's really it. Where it's like everyone's like roasting each other all the time, but like I mean, he's seen enough shit that like he probably doesn't.
This shit ain't nothing to me, man.
It is like the roasts are jokes. It's not even that he takes it in stride.
Right.
It's just like like there's. I know people just like him. They're like really good people, but like they don't smile or laugh. Like they've been through the ringer. Like especially for him going to like World War I or like or something like. It doesn't surprise me that he's the way he is, and he's a very genuine, nice character.
I know, and I'm not saying that he's a bad person. I'm just saying it tells it come across he's a very stoic individual.
Right.
That he's not the most chipper. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Is like he kind of comes across as like he, I can't think of the word. I know someone's probably screaming at me in the comments right now about the word I'm thinking of.
I'd say you'd said it already. I mean,
no, there's like a specific
stoic.
word. No, there's a specific word I'm talking about where like he has an angle. He has like there's like a
rough around the edges.
Yeah, but like there's a word for it. That's what I'm talking about. I can't think of it. And the second we hit stop recording, I'll think of it and probably say it.
Probably, yeah.
But anyways, so that's not the point. What I'm saying is that he comes across as a really good individual, and he's a lovable character.
Right. Any of his interactions with Chief Piccolo and his entire family
Oh, yeah.
are the best.
Of course.
Like, the grandmas. The great
the
grandmas.
Porcalino.
Right.
And they're like,
surprised the angels haven't come for you.
haven't come for you yet. That's crazy. But he's a lovable individual.
Oh yeah,
and it's really awesome to see that he has he's got to do what he's got to do. He's doing his own thing.
Right. A pig's got to fly.
Yeah.
Jesus.
At a certain point in time in the movie, the kind of, I would say, main antagonist of the film, who's an American man, which I find hilarious.
Yeah, Donald Curtis.
Oh God, Donald Curtis, the most American. John Jameson.
Right.
He ends up like, there's this bar that like it's on this specific island that Gina, again, it's in like the Austria area apparently. You're not supposed to have any kind of war games around that. It's kind of a rule.
Because everybody loves Gina so goddamn much.
Exactly.
They wouldn't dare start a fight
No, of
anywhere,
course,
like within 50 miles of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
place.
That is the rules. Like that's once you
Right.
get there, you're in a peaceful zone.
Leave your corals outside.
Exactly,
And everybody abides by it too, even like the scummy pirates who hate Porco,
Oh,
like
yeah.
with a burning passion.
yeah,
They'll just be sitting across the way, like muttering to themselves on how they're gonna take him out or some shit.
right,
But they won't do anything while they're there.
right. And the reason why I was saying all that was is that because at a certain point in time, what you think is going to be like a cool like friendship at first between Curtis and Porco, like turns out to be kind of a facade a little bit.
Oh yeah,
where-
no, he was hired to take him out, and
Right,
that's what
right.
he's gonna do. But that doesn't mean he's gonna be a huge ass jerk about it, you know?
right,
Because I mean, he respects Porco enough to
yeah,
tell him like I like to agree with him, and that he probably shouldn't work with the pirates, and that they could use a bath, shit like that. But you know, he knows his reputation. They both know about each other, stuff like that.
yeah. Well, eventually they end up leaving that area, and they end up, he ends up flying away, and they end up getting a little bit of a dogfight. And Porco's plane gets shot down and gets all banged up and all that stuff.
Right.
And then Curtis thinks he's got the upper hand.
Mm-hmm.
But then we get like the next sequence, which is really cool, where he ends up taking it like the remnants of his plane to the guy Piccolo,
Yeah.
like you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And then he ends up trying to get his plane repaired, and we get our
Theo.
our leading lady at this point.
Not the one from Metal Slug, though.
Yeah.
But
Machine gun.
heavy,
Heavy machine gun. Dang it, I messed it up. Heavy machine gun.
Iron Lizard.
And
Yeah.
rocket launcher.
Drop shot.
I can't wait till we play this.
Dude, fucking shotgun. That's so good. Sorry, Metal Slug. It just overrides my I must shout power ups.
Must metal slug.
Right.
But yeah,
Fireball.
I love.
Oh man.
I love the sequence where he's he's being encouraging towards Theo and like and they're kind of developing like a friendship in a way. And you
After
can
a
see
bit of a rocky start.
exactly.
Like at first, he's not having the idea of having this little girl fix up his plane for him.
Right.
But as soon as she does some talking, convinces him a bit, he warms up to her.
Right.
I really love the it's just we're gonna be alone on an island, just you and me. That's not appropriate. And she's
Yeah.
like, but I love camping.
It's like, no,
that's not
that's
what
not
I was
the
saying.
point.
It's just appropriate. Like
Right.
I love that. Oh, I love camping. That's
That's not the point.
that's not what we're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But of course, like I even love the character of Piccolo, like and all that kind of stuff. I just think it's such a cool.
Yeah.
He's got like a little bit of a friendship.
I like
Gopher.
What is it? Whenever he says like, what's the difference between going to war and what bounty hunters do? And he's like profiteering off war. That's what they do when they're in war.
Profiteers are villains.
Yeah, yeah.
Bounty hunters are just stupid.
That was like that was like a great line.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for how much I've seen the movie, though, I don't actually have like a whole lot to say. It's a
a
good
little
movie.
quiet over there.
I think. I mean, it's like I really enjoy it. Like my favorite character is the girl. I don't
Right.
have to remember her name for that.
Theo.
I did know it this time, but
Yeah.
my favorite character is her. She's really fun.
Mhm.
And
I
sassy.
love the Mama Utos.
Really,
Oh,
yeah. I like that she's really sassy and just shuts up all the freaking pirates
Right.
because like it's just great. She's fun.
Mhm.
But kind of like Whisper of the Heart, where it's like it's such a good movie. I don't
Oh,
have
yeah.
much else to say beyond that. Like you have to watch it
Right.
yourself.
It's just
Like,
genuinely that good.
yeah, and every scene is its own little thing that's nice, and even though not much happens in any given scene,
Mhm.
it seems like a lot happens over the course of the movie.
Yeah.
Like every scene's kind of just like a sort of small thing, and by the end of the movie, you're like they're fist fighting in the
Right.
There's
Final
not
boxing match.
there's
Yeah,
not
like-
a lot of there's not a lot of side story.
Mhm.
Like it really is like just like the
It's
main
pretty laser focused.
Right. There's a little bit of like little things here and there, but like there's not a lot that gets like there's not a lot to tie up. Like it's just like you're following him, and like even though there's a little bit of a side thing here or whatever.
Step by step.
Right. It's pretty straightforward, which is great, and I love that because it's very concise and it's very easy to kind of comprehend. And the movie's only about an hour and a half, so I mean, like it really feels pretty concise, and I kind of want more. Like I would like to see more, but I know that's not the point. So, but eventually, again, I'm in this weird state of mind right now where I'm still trying to think of like what to call.
Oh yeah,
Porco.
Right. It's okay,
but
it'll
like
come to you.
I know, but I didn't even get finish that. I love his character, and I think he's such a cool character because again, like you can tell that there's so much more than he's leading on.
Yeah.
Again, everyone else around him really loves him and really talks him up, and he comes across as very humble,
right?
In a way, and even though he's very quiet into himself.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed his character.
He's one of the best.
One of the best, and I think that's why I like the movie as much as I do, is because of the fact that like it's so easy to just like look at this. Kind of a secretive kind of person where you don't know a whole lot about him and you don't know why he's a pig. Right. And you're like, I don't understand what's going on there because he's the only person.
For like, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Pig pilot. Let's go.
It'd be one thing if there was a bunch of like anthropomorphic animals in the movie or other pig people, but he's the only one.
Nah, he's special.
So it's like, I'm like, he's intriguing and he's awesome. But then again, everyone around him, like that really knows him, is always like talking him up.
Right. They still treat him like a normal person.
Right. And I love the fact that like I love the dynamic of like Gina really cares about him, but never explicitly says it.
Right.
But in her actions and in the way she kind of like says some things about him or talks about him behind his back in a certain way.
Right.
You're like, wow, I think she really cares
madly
about him, and I don't think he can't be nailed down to one place.
Right. Enough that she's got a running bet to herself.
Yeah.
That if he visits her in her garden during the day, she's going to tell him she loves him.
Yeah.
But he only comes out at night.
Yep. It's
but
so cool.
He almost did.
Almost.
It's cool and interesting. And I think it's super cool. It's so fun and so, I don't know. It's really cool.
It's a good movie.
Even whenever Fio kind of comes around, she starts to see the different side of him. And then, of course, that famous scene that you're talking about, you end up loving a whole lot, where he describes, the kind of the afterlife in a way.
Right.
There's a moment where he's like inspecting the ammunition, and she looks over at him from her sleeping bag and sees that he's a regular person again.
Yeah.
And then, of course, whenever, she kind of like sits up and adjusts her eyes and like says, Porco, like he looks over,
turns over like, huh?
And he's a pig again. And it's like, whoa. And then I told Dylan, I looked over at him and I was like, this gives me Howl's Moving Castle vibes.
Yeah.
Of if you've listened to that episode, anyone out there, a couple weeks ago we did one on Howl's Moving Castle, and there's a very similar situation where the main character has a spell put on her, and she's an old lady, but deep down she's still a regular young girl.
Right.
And then there's these moments where she's not so self-deprecating and can allow someone to love her. And in those moments where she's not thinking about herself or is able to allow someone to love her in that way, she turns back into her normal self and the spell's lifted.
Right.
And she's not in her own head about it all, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
And it almost felt like that
for like
Porco,
for
a split second.
When he's in the zone.
And now reading about this whole situation about him being disillusioned with humanity and curse himself to be a pig, saying that whenever men become middle-aged or, carrying a lot of baggage.
Right.
Him quitting being human. For this moment where he's in this zone, and I think now that he has a partner with him and kind of a reason to keep going, or a different outlook on what's happening or whatever,
inspired by a fresh viewpoint.
Exactly. and even the more times they talk a little bit, he's like maybe I think either one of you or both of you said at a certain point that
you make me think that not the whole of humanity isn't a waste.
Right. Yeah. And at that point, when he's in the zone inspecting all this ammunition, I think he potentially is thinking a bit differently, which is super cool. Yeah. And then
go watch the movie.
Go watch the movie. The tail end of it, there's like this kind of third act resolution where they have Curtis and Porco have a little
a spat. The final bout.
The final bout. They have like a little
They tussle.
Heaven or hell.
A re-up where they're like, hey, let's do a rematch. You and me, 1-on-1.
Mano a mano.
And the stakes get raised where I think they put up Porco's tab on repairing his plane.
The entire cost of the repairs and renovations. And Curtis is like, fuck it. Yeah. Like, oh, man.
But then Fio steps in and is like, you know what, we'll do that. And then
practically her life is on the line.
Exactly. Because at a certain point in time, he's like, what if it's to your hand in marriage?
Right.
Curtis?
He takes 5 seconds to look at this little girl and he's like, will you marry me? And I'm like, bruh.
Slow
what
down.
a weird guy.
You just got done confessing your love to Gina. Now you're over here like, da.
Right.
Please marry me.
I think he's just a simp. I think he's just down bad.
Right. A dog.
He's just down bad.
Yeah.
But anyways.
17. You can't say that.
Right.
I don't
Get
care
the
if
fuck
it's
away.
1926. No.
Oh, man.
Hank.
But as they end up, fighting in the skies, they end up, wasting ammunition and waiting for their guns to get all jammed up, and then they have a little fisticuff tussle out in the kind of the bay area.
Oh, and they lay it all out.
Oh yeah. But
it's a good fight.
It's a good fight. They really beat the shit out of each other.
Drag out.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards.
I love that at one point, as the fight starts, the Federation pirates are like, somebody get a bell, grab a bell.
Yeah, I have an idea.
And they end up with a frying pan and are using one of the grenades.
To
ring it
as the beater.
Like, Jesus.
You're really trying to get us all killed here.
Worth it, though.
Yeah. So they end up fighting it all out, and then Gina ends up getting word that the Air Force is going to be
from Federation.
Ends up going to be on their way to break up the fight, basically. And so she ends
the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah, she gets there before they do. And it's like, everybody clear out.
That's my other
favorite
part.
Free drinks on me.
Yeah. Good stuff.
The final count, they both end up punching each other and fall down, so they're both like, basically drowning.
So slow.
Gina almost runs them over.
Gina, wait. 8.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And of course, Porco ends up waking up.
Right.
He
the victor.
quote unquote winning the fight.
Yeah.
And he gets all the money. And then he ends up shipping off Fio with Gina. And
right.
Like,
Get the fuck out of here.
I love her little. Every time he like throws her or something, and she's like,
I
love the voice acting.
The
for
most
screams
genuine scream.
Yeah, those are the realest things. They're so funny.
So now let me get this straight. At the very end, whenever Curtis looks over at him and is like, he says,
your
about his
face. Let me see your face.
Right.
I don't know if it's because he wants to see how bad he roughed him up, or if he actually turned back into a human.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he turned back into a human.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Whack. I think it's just because he wanted to see if he won the fight.
I'm sure that was part of it. Yeah. But it was a good ending too.
It's a lovely ending. I want to see if I can't find something about it.
And then they never saw each other again. So
I know.
Yeah,
he
probably
says-
straight up says she never saw Porco again.
Which is
after
probably because he's a human now when you think about it. It's a good
Yeah.
idea. It's a good point.
that. And she heads like her own company now.
She takes up
developing new
the
planes.
family business. At a certain point in time, I think you see her flying like a jet style plane. And it's like, oh hell yeah.
We in the future.
The future's now.
Right. Gina's bar is still around. We see all the pirates even older. And
all the old coots.
right.
It says here on that same forum post that I was reading from before, it says that the general consensus is yes, though whether he stayed human is another matter, but Curtis was insisting on seeing Porco's face, implying that something had changed about it. The conversation between Porco and Fio at the camp set up the quote unquote kiss the frog prince theory.
Right.
So Fio's kiss.
When she actually smooched him on the
and
lips.
it says not only was it Fio's kiss, but / Gina's love at the end is what turned Porco back into a human. The fact that both Gina and Fio gave him hope
Could
in
love him
humanity.
even though he's a pimp.
Exactly. He became a pig because he was disillusioned by humanity, but Fio's innocence made him feel that, quote, there is still some hope in humans, as Porco said. This time, he won and did not make another girl unhappy, apparently. It seems that he finally overcame his self-hatred.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
What a pleasant ending.
Yeah.
Even though
a fascist.
better a pig than a fascist, dude.
This movie just got banned from so many countries. This podcast just got banned from so many countries because of what we're saying.
Right. Fuck them.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I was seeing if there's anything else in this little post here that I could read.
Oh yeah.
I can
Just about touched on all the
doesthedogdie.com.
bases.
Oh yeah, do that. Doesthedogdie.com.
I don't think there's going to be an article for this.
I mean,
this kind
I
of
doubt
movie
it. I
is-
don't see. I
I
don't
mean,
recall.
anybody that's a pig sympathizer, there's definitely a pig that gets the shit beat out of him at the end.
Is there animal abuse?
Yes, 100%.
Oh, man.
It says that this movie explores themes of identity and the struggle to find one's place in the world.
Mm-hmm. I'd say so.
This deep and thought-provoking aspect of the movie adds depth to its storytelling.
Yeah.
And of course, obviously, Miyazaki's love for aviation.
Oh, of course.
So yeah.
Apparently, I just got a Google AI overview.
Oh, those are awful, dude. Some
Yeah,
of
I
them
know.
are really bad.
They're all really bad. Apparently there is. Does the dog die? There's not a dog at all.
Nope.
I'm gonna
No
not-
dogs present.
Is there excessive gore? Cartoon bruises. Comedic.
Comedic.
Wow.
Porco is followed by the secret police. He knows though. Is someone stalked? Yes.
Yeah.
Man.
How fun.
There's a lot of things people are drinking.
Porco Rosso was a major success at the box office,
Good.
becoming the highest grossing domestic film in Japan in its solidified Studio Ghibli reputation.
Wow.
And it solidified Studio Ghibli's reputation as a powerhouse in the animation industry.
Impressive.
Gina is a key character in Porco Rosso. Her
Aw.
enigmatic persona adds an air of intrigue to the story.
Yeah. I'd
Well,
say so.
such a, I mean, duh.
Right, I was about to say.
What a bad take, or what a mid take. I
Right.
thought that was going to add something interesting about her character because
Nah.
it says the mysterious Gina, and then I was like, oh shit, here we go. What is he going to say? And it just has the most
Obvious shit.
surface level thing. She
I
is
think we
a
can trust our own words on that one.
exactly. She adds intrigue to the story because leave an audience guessing her true intentions.
Like, I mean, really?
right.
You're pretty straightforward to me.
Right.
But
Is there a large age gap? Many old male characters
Yes.
are overtly attracted to Fio, who appears to be very young.
damn.
Yep. Well, okay,
I'd say
with
that
that,
touched on pretty much all the bases, eh?
pretty all
the bases.
pretty about the bases.
Does it have a sad ending? No, 11. It's ambiguous.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I wouldn't say.
Does a plane crash?
Several.
Oh, yeah,
one
multiple.
would say yes.
Mhm.
And they all float up to
The castle in the sky.
aviation
Oh.
heaven.
Shit, is that what we're doing next? Castle in the Sky?
Well, no, I was just
heck
saying
yeah.
because they went.
It's
to
been a
the
long
sky.
time since I've watched
It's
that.
been a fucking while, yeah.
Damn.
That'd be a good one.
Isn't that one also kind of sad because the golem or the robot
The
man?
robot soldiers, yeah. Fucking love those things.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
I was gonna say I think we've touched on everything I want to talk about from
Just about.
Porco Rosso. Do you want to touch on anything else while we have you here? I don't know. You were kind of hijacking the first 10 minutes of the show.
Well, yeah, I was something I want to talk about. I had planned to talk about that, and we were already on the topic as well, talking about how we hadn't seen it in the dub before, or how you hadn't, because I guess I seen it the first time in the dub. But
it's so sad. Alexa played Despacito.
So sad. I'm so sad.
I'm so sad.
This movie wasn't sad, at least.
No.
This movie
it has kind of a melancholy
has an ambiguous ending, but it wasn't
right.
sad. No, so I can't say that.
The only sadness is that Gina and Theo don't get to see Porco
They don't
Rosso
get the
again.
man.
They don't get the man, and they want him so bad.
They do say, or at least Theo says at the end, that as to whether or not Gina won her bet, that's our secret.
Oh, in that case, yeah.
So it could be that he did end
That's
up.
like if someone says, "Did you go on a date?" And if you're like, "Oh, I won't tell you," that means yes. Yeah,
right, exactly.
That's our secret. That's a yes. Yeah.
By saying I don't kiss and tell, it means I'm pretty sure you've been smacking.
You're kissing, and currently I'm being told.
Right.
yeah. I don't need the details. I just need to know yes or no, and you just confirmed it from right there.
Just gave
right,
it to me.
stupid.
So Gina lived happily ever after. Sorry if you rip.
Damn.
Well, they were partners, so I mean, at least she was probably the side hoe at certain points.
Right. He lived happily ever, but after,
yeah, no shot.
But after,
Theo just simps from the sidelines.
don't we all?
Don't we all? Damn. What a great way to end that episode.
right. Dude, not the sideline simp.
Not the sideline simp. Oh, no.
Sideline simp is the episode of this.
No. No.
Sideline simp's in this episode.
Can I say at the very end of it, I think I would be remiss if I didn't touch on the fact that I loved the fact that this entire movie is When Pigs Fly. Like that's the whole, right. I mean, that is what this movie is. Like, I think that's hilarious.
He do indeed be soaring.
He do indeed be a pig, and he is flying. And I love that.
Just ran into the mic. I moved in front of the mic and then picked my head up and just bonked on the mic. That's what you get. You don't lean over when there's a mic next to you.
Right.
Well, okay. I'm gonna keep.
Okay.
Heaven or hell.
I am going to keep up with hyping up our YouTube channel because I've been really enjoying the fact that everyone has been engaging there, and there's been a lot of viewers, and I think we're really hitting an audience.
Everyone, be sure to attend the drop of our Metal Slug playthrough that's coming eventually. I don't actually have a plan
some point,
but it's coming.
It's gonna be good. We did a few test
possibly coming to a channel
near
that may be in your area,
your YouTube feed near you.
The next weekend that I'm not working or something like that.
Hopefully coming to your For You page near you. Anyways, we have a YouTube channel. You can type in youtube.com/ at Hindsight Studios, or you can just go in the search bar and type in at Hindsight Studios, and you can find the channel there. And we have all the episodes are there. You can leave likes. You can subscribe. The big thing is right now, and I think Ethan would once I fill him with the details what we need, I think he's going to be really hopping on the bandwagon with hyping this shit up for me. Is if you could subscribe. If you can subscribe to the channel, that we can once we have a certain amount.
Yeah, it's the year of a million subs.
Oh my god!
Is that if you could subscribe and you can like the videos for us and give us some comments. I am the one who's in the comment section, but usually I take from.
I am the one who reads.
Well, because
he's the reader of the runes.
I'm the reader of the runes, and I translate them to these boys here. Dylan has specifically said there's no way to get in contact with him, so I say that now.
Sorry.
I say that now because again, if
for practical purposes, still doesn't exist. If you don't know him, that's
I'm required by law not to interact with strangers.
I'm sorry.
The U.S. government has informed me not to elaborate any further.
I gatekeep Dylan, so no one can get.
He's a resident movie expert, and he was right once again about the subs and dubs. So
I'm telling you now, if you want to get to him, you got to go through me. Anyway, so if you want to go ahead,
he's never wrong. I've won the lottery 6 times now.
I'm filthy rich.
I have retainers.
Yeah.
I lost mine in China.
Damn.
My retainer for my. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Okay.
My teeths.
Anyways, is that
I'm not joking.
Is if you want to, for all of the episodes, I'm going to be in the comments section and, of course, engage in the discourse there because it's been fun. Ethan just recently hopped in there as well and started throwing his little 2 cents.
I just tried to say first on the video and I was beat.
And I love how Toasty Night has consistently...
I think Ian's saying that I would rep telling you guys to like and subscribe because I already made the joke once. I was like, hey, so when can I quit my job and do this?
And I haven't told Ethan.
I had a bad day at work and I was like, yo, when can I quit my job and do something else?
Really bright my mood right now. I'm done.
I had one bad day at work and I was like, I'm going to go record the podcast.
The voices are back.
The voices can't hear me when I'm stirring my oats. I can't hear my voices or whatever it was.
I haven't told Ethan all the details of what we would need for that to happen, but I think eventually, whenever he knows the numbers, he'll be like the video, subscribe.
I'm already the guy who says
I know.
smash that like button.
Anyways, but all jokes aside, it's been really cool to see the fact that like the YouTube channel and a lot of the other podcasting platforms as well. Obviously, we're on as many that we can be on. So
find us where you find your podcast and YouTube.
Exactly.
Right.
And then of course the YouTube channel, which we're gonna try and do some. We're going to diversify and kind of do some more fun things.
And be sure to join our behind-the-scenes Patreon where
we don't have a Patreon.
We do take donations.
Right.
Become a fan of the channel or however that works.
We'll do a Kickstarter.
We can't yet.
I know.
I was
joking. I was joking.
I
don't know how that works. I was joking. That was a joke. I don't know how YouTube works.
Right.
But anyways, thank you so much for listening. And until next time,
see you.
Like and subscribe. Hit that like button.
Shut up, Ethan. Shut up.
Bye.
Bye-bye.